I must Drake you, kind of stealing Jeff's stick here on many, many fronts, including setup. So I am actually without internet at the moment, so I'm doing this just from my phone. And Jeff and I have had discussions about this in the past, namely, is it better to try and do a complicated setup, which I love, or is it better to do a simplistic setup that is going to age well? And I've basically been forced into the latter. So, in honor of the most recent episode of Nerd, which was on Star Wars Masters of Terrascasi, and we note in that basically there was a failed crossover with Capcom. It was supposed to be Capcom was going to make the game, LucasArts was going to release it. It honestly would have gone great. It turns out that Capcom made a game called Star Gladiator, and it even released a sequel. That's how good it was. It was well reviewed. So had LucasArts kept up with Star Gladiator, released it as basically a skin for Star Trek, we could still be talking about that to this day. As it is, they did not. Another funny thing that we're talking about there is that Jeff and I critique the music of Star Wars Master of Terrascasi. I've been listening to old Capcom MIDI. Yeah, it does look like, yeah, like the Hulk is pooping text, is what Logan Trent says there. Speaking of Logan and Jeff, that is the next episode of Nerd we've got queued up. If all the stars align, I am traveling a lot. But Star Wars Season 8 is in full swing. We did Star Wars Masters of Terrascasi, which should have been released by Capcom, which is why I'm doing Star Wars versus Marvel, Star Wars versus X-Men, some kind of like that. In my Marvel Series 2 box, these are all of the non-Wolverine packs I have remaining. I have 9 Wolverine left, and then I did match this right here to just have Star Wars Jabba's Palace CCG. If you go, I'm going to give a spoiler, Jeff managed to pull 2 Star Wars Masters of Terrascasi playable characters when he broke his Jabba's Palace. I'll see if I can match that. I don't actually know if it's technically possible, but we'll find out. All right. Interesting. Jeff's got something cool planned on Wednesday for I Must Break You. Reminder. So let's see if I can do this. I need to take lessons from Ken ASMR because I learned that when I break these packs, they're kind of loud. So you kind of want to do more ASMR. Oh, that is a bummer. So in this box of Marvel Series 2, we will already see a bent corner, but I do already have a Cyclops. That's not a problem. Also, I'll note something about these. I'm just going to go through the Marvel Series Universe Series 2 to start. Hi, bye, Zach. Zach popped in to say hey and popped out. But yeah, Jeff is saying patreon.com/Jeff May. Jeff and I both break cards on this channel that you were at, which is Jeff has cool cards, right? Ooh, this is I don't think I have this one yet. Silver Surfer versus Mephisto. How do you say it? Ooh, interesting. So Jeff said he's gonna now. I don't know why Jeff would be streaming from San Diego. I don't know if there's anything going on in San Diego this week that would be important. Fun news, I will be in San Diego in the near future. I'm being sarcastic for those in the comments or those in the future, by the way. Obviously, San Diego Comic-Con is happening. So I know a running joke with Jeff, Green Goblin's a legend, love that, is that Jeff is always saying he won't go to San Diego Comic-Con and he always ends up there. This is one of my nerdy things I've been saying, which is I want to find any of these cards that are for the X-Men that also show up in Marvel Series 2 and check the power scores on the back and see if they line up, because I am a massive nerd. I think Banshee might be an example. I think Banshee shows up in Marvel Series 2 as well as Marvel Universe X-Men, both produced by Impel. This is definitely a cool one, in good shape, probably good. Daredevil versus Kingpins. Kingpins? Sure, why not? All right. I also want to give a shout out back to one of the first episodes of the show. I believe Jeff actually broke some Marvel Universe Series 2. I bought him, and he got a hologram, and I didn't realize this. Holograms on the Marvel Series 1 and Marvel Series 2 are actually only supposed to be one a box. All right, that I got some awesome verses in this pack. Spider-Man versus Doc Ock, and Jeff has noticed this, by the way. Doctor Octopus on multiple cards in this set is smoking. It's the best. It's the best. And Annihilus. I know that is a repeat, but still a cool card to get. And Cyclops, unfortunately, is bound for the recycle bin. All right, patreon.com/Jeff May. You can help support stuff like this in terms of free, obviously. And I'll start going a little faster. The Nerd Podcast, Season 8, is in full swing, which was Star Wars Master of Terrascasi. I thought I had a hologram, but not. Nebula, so got some Guardians of the Galaxy. Looks way different than the one in that. Avengers versus Ultron. But yeah. Jeff got a Fantastic Four versus the Mole Man, which is the only hologram for the set. This is new, by the way, the Punisher's Arsenal. This one's actually much better. Like, I seem to recall seeing a Punisher's Arsenal. Okay, I get it. The front is really cool. The back's pretty lame, though. But yeah, there are five or six holograms in this set. 4 or 5 of them are characters, and one of them is Fantastic Four versus the Mole Men. And Jeff notes that that's important because really the Fantastic Four, probably Jack Kirby, but Stan Lee said as himself. X-Men versus Marauders. That's a good card. Fantastic Four. Was like the start of the kind of silver age of Marvel, so that's why it's an important card. Jeff did pull naturally out of Marvel Series 1, Grim Reaper, and then Quasar's Quantum Bands. Anyway, so in terms of Series 1 and 2, there are it's like one hologram per box, and Jeff actually pulled a Magneto Grade 9 from his Marvel Series 1, and I think he only had 2 to 4 packs. So that's wild. He had like a hologram day when honestly the odds of getting like holograms were 1 in 36. And if I hadn't bought him one of the boxes, because this was the start of I Must Break You, Silver Surfer versus Thanos, I would have accused him of cheating. But I know he didn't. Doctor Strange. Spider-Man's web shooters. I got a couple of these now. I was also going to say for I Must Break You, and I hope Jeff May's mailbag, I actually did send Deathwatch, Scarlet Witch, that's a beaut. I actually did send Jeff a package, so hopefully he will have some material for Jeff May's mailbag. So the schedule, for those that don't know, Mondays, You Are Here, new Fantastic Four, Jeff's gotten that before. It is I Must Drake You, which is with me. I break whatever cards, and I've got a backlog of stuff I want to complete, including Marvel Universe Series 2. Wednesday, I Must Break You with Jeff, where he breaks whatever he wants to break. And he's got a lot. I've seen a lot of Jeff's backlog. And the other good news is Jeff has so much stuff that, like, I'm behind on, like, spreadsheeting things. Super scroll. Ooh, the Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, and this is a beaut. I think this is the Rachel one, but yeah, Rachel Summers Phoenix. Love that. And why does she look like an old lady on the back? There's Rachel Summers, though, from the future. A time paradox in the comics, but I love it. So yeah, Jeff got a package today, and what I did, what many of Jeff's friends like to do to Jeff, is give him more work. I need to open that quieter. I gave Jeff more work because not only did I send Jeff stuff for him, all right, we got one of the power ratings cards. These are my favorite. We're starting to get some duplicates. Quasar. I sent Jeff stuff to send other people. Oh yeah, Jeff's noting it like, yeah, Rachel Summers is like 25 in that photo, but she looks like she's 40 by modern ears. Ooh, I love this one. Spider-Man versus J. Jonah Jameson. That's a fun one. Fury. Captain Marvel. I know Jeff and I have had discussions about this on how like Captain Marvel and Marvel, whatever. Is it the same in what's Shazam's character's name? Marvel Boy or something? There are all sorts of weird logistics. Ooh, a Doctor Doom card. That's cool. Super smart, apparently. about DC and Marvel and the name about and the rules about the name Captain Marvel and what you got to publish. Fantastic Four versus Doctor Doom. The Masters of Evil. I forget this one. Who all's in Masters of Evil? The headquarters are unknown. So Barons. And they first show. This is like way old. This is 1964. Iron Fist. One of the most forgettable shows. I haven't even had time to watch it yet. And Thing versus Hulk. This is a fun one. This is like a classic. Masters of Evil becomes Thunderbolts, says Logan in the chat. By the way, I keep bringing this up, but I cannot express to you how excited I am for World Martial Arts Council with Jeff and Logan Trent, which is, as mentioned, on deck as the next episode of Nerd. And we had so much to say about Masters of Terrascasi, which in the Nerd canon is Jeff May's Ewoks: The Battle for Endor, because it's a bad Star Wars property from when Mandarin. It's a bad Star Wars property from when we were kids that we just loved because of nostalgia. And Master of Terrascasi is somewhat more frustrating. Got the rage card because it legitimately could have been good. Look at Doc Ock, like he's got a smoking habit, man. Come on, Doc. You got an Aunt May to marry. Stop smoking so much. We got Ghost Rider. I believe this is the new Ghost Rider. Yep. This is such a silly card for Daredevil's Billy Club. Magneto. And by the way, I'll throw this out to you. Unless the world has changed, all of World Martial Arts Council was recently available on like YouTube for free. So just like Cap versus Baron Zemo, that's awesome. So like if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Got the X-Men card, got Wolverine, Gambit, Psylocke, Havoc, Banshee, Forge, Jubilee, Storm. Logan says, what an awful Union Jack suit. I do not remember Union Jack from the comic. I mean, there's just so much of this. I'm getting jealous because, like, Jeff's pulled a hologram off this set, and I have yet to. Puma's pretty strong, man. Look at that. And Puma showed up in 1984. Hey, Walker Morgan. How's it going? Oh, by the way, funny thing. So I was in Seattle this last week, and Cap America versus Red Skull. And last week, a lot of Shark Talk came up in the comments. And in Seattle, first off, I had some of the best clam chowder I've ever had. Apparently, it is like you got old school vision. It is like apparently like national winning clam chowder, and the place is really well known and really good. Although like the iconography, like the fonts and stuff, look really Trumpy, so I'm not sure. But it was really good clam chowder. And then also another store I saw there actually had a like a shark poster. And I am regretting, I like almost took a picture, but it's one of those things you don't want to be too rude, right? When you're just like walking through a shop, especially when you're not purchasing it. All right, Jeff's actually commented on this card, so I'm excited to see this one. Look at that Marvel Girl card. That's a Jeff card. Like, I don't know, did teenage Jeff draw this? This looks like Jeff wrote this card. And that's probably the coolest Marvel Girl has ever looked because, yeah, Jean Grey. And Jean Grey, like, ridiculously low powered on this. I mean, I guess she gets super powered when she gets infected with the Phoenix or however they want to say that. Monterey. So yeah, I don't know what clam chowder Jeff's talking about, but yeah, this one had like bacon in it. Was really tasty. It's a popular place in Pike's Market. So did Art Adams do this Marvel Girl card? Yeah, you can see. Look at that. Good initials on the bottom there. AA. People who have AA as initials are awesome. I'm happy to get this card because it's Spider-Man versus Venom. I've actually gotten this before, but the corners were dinged up, which was a real bummer. And one of the lamest cards for Mr. Fantastic I've ever seen. That's like the nullifier, right? All right, 2 packs to go. Let's see if I can get better. I need to figure out a more ASMR-y way of breaking these. It's going to pain me when I go back and listen to this. Not like how crunchy it sounds when I open that. Shout out to, isn't it Ken Knapsack, Jeff, who does the ASMR card breaking? And I did discover when I was starting to set this up, look, that rhino is really good. Who did that art? I can't tell. Like, Jeff knows artists and stuff, and I have no idea, but that is, I do love that rhino card. But apparently you can like stream with others when you do these live streams. So that is something we'll look into. But of course, as Jeff has learned with me, every time we like try and up the technology level on live streaming, like stuff breaks, it gets complicated. So who knows? Night Thrasher, I bought like #1 of this comic. I dug it. Human Torch versus Submariner. Got the Avengers assemble. Who's on the top there? I forget who that is. This is a weird Avengers because it's got She-Hulk, Quasar. I think that is that Black Widow on the bottom? That's Vision. I don't recognize the woman on the top. It says Captain America, Thor, Quasar, Cersei. I don't remember Cersei. Anyway, got a Beast card. Baron Mordo. Good job, Jeff. And I don't know the lag. So I know I beat Jeff to saying Cersei before seeing it in the chat, but I'm assuming there is a lag on the chat. Awesome Spider-Man versus Lizard. It's just a good-looking card. I do not recognize the signature, but it is signed at the bottom. If anybody recognizes that. And then I do love this She-Hulk card. I've got it before. I'm glad to have duplicates. Jeff claims he beats me by 3 seconds. I will watch the rerun to verify to make sure it's you don't want to be off, right? I want to get the timing correct. All right, so it looks like I still hope I've got a hologram in this box. I've got like another 9 Wolverine packs to break. I won't be breaking those tonight, but I am still hologramless. Jeff has gotten holograms from this set. I have not. I am furious, but I'll live. I think this is looking like a repeat. I'll be able to look in the look through, but I have seen all of these cards before tonight. But I don't think this is an exactly bad. So we got Thing versus Hulk, Mysterio, pretty smart apparently. The original Ghost Rider. They went to like new Ghost Rider because of the Pepsi challenge and people didn't like it. Iron Man, Tombstone, and another Punisher versus Jigsaw. All right, I'm gonna bust some Jabba's Palace. Got some cool cards, but nothing to write home about. And here's what sucks about Jabba's Palace in a good bad way. I believe correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, Jeff. I believe the last card is the rare, but this is one of the worst sets in terms of like good characters. We'll see if we get anything good. I do love just like Decipher's cards, the look, the feel, the extra stuff on the top and bottom. If you read it, it's really funny. Who could forget Whipped? Whipped. Yeah, look, this is like ugly alien. Yeah. Yeah, the last one is the rare. And like they're too good. You can basically get Jabba or Princess Leia or maybe like Jabba's barge, I think. I think that's like it for this set. I don't even think that Lando shows up in this. I know I have him from Cloud City. I don't think he actually has a card in this when I was looking there. And yeah, Jeff's right. Most of the rares are unique aliens, but like they're like made up aliens or one namers or whatever. Jeff claims there's a Londo here, so we'll see. I thought when I looked it up, I didn't see it. Are you sure? I'm going to ask Jeff if he's sure it's not expanded or something. I thought when I looked it up, but it's possible I just misread. Okay, this really? I actually kind of just love this rare out of stupidity. Droppy McCool. Droppy McCool. Gotta love a rare 1/1 unique alien. So I see what Jeff's saying. So if I find the Comtel Screech card, that's actually Lando Calrissian in disguise. All right. Good to know. I didn't know that. Got a Gamorrean axe. That's a pretty good one. Another one of this. Yeah, we're starting to already get duplicates of people. Got Batboy. A Vibro axe. A Vibro axe. Okay, this is cool. Always love the locations. Jeff says don't doubt him on Star Wars CCG trivia. If there is something we have established in nerd canon, it's that I will always be incredulous, and my hit rate is like baseball legs. So, as an example, I need to make a video of this. This is actually pretty cool. This guy's. I mean, heck, maybe could we get Throck? Could this be really Throck? If this was Throck, this would be an awesome card. I'm counting this as Throck, Jeff, because I don't think Throck exists. But we got a Gamorrean Guard rare, or Tug. Yeehaw. Yeah, that's not a half, a 4-power rare, unique. I'll take it. And like I said, I'm counting as Throck because the unofficial competition I'm having is on last week's I Must Break You. Jeff got a pack of Jabba's. It's either expanded or enhanced. I can go for both. It's officially enhanced. It's called Jabba's Palace Enhanced. So if you go back to the Star Wars CCG episode of Nerd, we discuss all of the ways that Decipher found ways to like repackage excess inventory. And so one thing they did is like they went back to sets like Jabba's Palace, and they added a couple unique cards to like blasters that they put at the front. And the bummer part about that is it makes it hard to grade well, because I got Jeff one of those blasters with a Mara Jade. Like, it comes with that. But he also got a pretty awesome rare at the back. Okay, Jeff says a Rancor is also what I'm looking for. Loge Nella. Like this little thing. Well, Jeff's also noting, like, we talked about this in like the Star Wars CCG episode. So the enhanced stuff makes better cards, but then also like we're entering the peak of when most of the stuff was mass produced. So a lot of these cards aren't going to be like, they're not wanted because of rarity, right? They're like coolness factor, right? There's certain characters like the Death Star we note is only a rare 2. Gotta love this. Evil Luke. You will take me to Jabba now. We got the Labyrinth Door Knocker, right? Like always tells the truth, always lies. All right, this is actually an interesting one. I'd be curious Jeff in the chat might start talking about our rare, the Hut Canyon. We got a Hut Bounty, so we got a Boosh Bosh Bush, right? Bringing in, I'm going to read the card and I'll put it back up, and it is, you deploy on a smuggler or gambler or thief if subsequently captured by a bounty hunter and then transferred to Jabba's palace. Retrieve force equal to the character's forfeit, +6 for Han, and lose effect, and this is immune to alter. Love it. Okay. All right. So far the unofficial score. Oh man. So Jeff immediately dashing my hopes, saying that in terms of it's the least useful bounty card, because in the Star Wars CCG episode of Nerd, we discussed how Jeff kind of like is the absolute nerd on Star Wars CCG of learning the rules. I love this. Just Choke. That's such a good card. Got another Droppy McCool with a different name. Don't tell me otherwise. But so Jeff would know about stuff like, bounty hunting and play. He would basically be like, we'd be playing Star Wars CCG. He would. And he'd go like, oh, this is kind of interesting. I have no idea what these two numbers mean, but he's got a 4 ferocity and a 5 bark, which seems like it should be good. Bubo. So I assume that Jeff would know all about like bounties. All tangled up. That's a what's it called? I don't know if Boba Fett does that, but that's a Boba Fett weapon in Star Wars Masters of Kairoskasi. Arc welder. Okay, and Jeff says the mechanics there is using Droppy and 3 Kitanek is awesome, and Bubo is great for eating spies. Yeah, Jeff does know stuff. I was going to say, back to Nerd Canon, we got an argument over a scene in Dutch, and this is one of those where I happen to be right. And I've been meaning to go onto the Jeff May YouTube. So there's at Hey There Jeffro if you are looking for Jeff's podcasts and related content. And there is Jeff Has Cool Cards, which is where you're at. So on at Hey There Jeffro, I've been wanting to like go over the Dutch scene. Jeff says it's a fantastic rare. All right, I'm going to put that aside, Jeff. Thank you. Okay, and let's give it a little extra love then. That's the card, and it's an interrupt, and it's a used or lost interrupt. So you can oh, this is cool. You can do either both. So used means you put it in your discard pile. Lost means it goes in the lost pile. Used, you cancel an attempt to use a character weapon to target a character with ability over 4. So yeah, like if someone was trying to shoot Luke and you're afraid they'd hit you. And lost is if your character of ability over 4 with a lightsaber was targeted by a blaster, use 3/4 to retarget that blaster to a character's opponent present. Yeah, that's nice because you either like if you're afraid Darth Vader's going to cut your head off, right? You can block. You can make it so that doesn't happen. We got this guy, Yazam, or vice versa. You actually get them to shoot themselves, which is awesome. And I don't actually, Jeff, in the chat, if you've got time to discuss the logistics of the rules, how late are you allowed to play this? Because can I play this like as they're drawing their destiny? Because that's super hackery. If you could do that. Don't forget the droids. Love that scene. I appreciate this in movie logic to basically say like, you know, at the end of a scene actually cleaning up and people remembering that. Okay, so no, I'm not repeating what Walker said in the chat, but that's an incentive. If you're watching in the future, you want to see great comments from people like Walker Morgan in the chat. Well, he says stuff in the chat. Information exchange. I'd watch this TV show. This should be a Disney Plus show. Okay, so Jeff's noting that you can play that card before they draw Destiny, so it's not as cheap as I would like. Okay, Galid, look at this. As Jeff notes, in Java's Palace, your rares are like 1/1 aliens no one's heard of. Thanks, Galid. Logan says Han Solo card should give you +5 to fight. I mean, Han Solo's not really a fighter, as we discussed in the Masters of Terrascasi episode, but you know, Jeff might differ. He just uses blasters and pilots, man. He's not a fighter. Doesn't belong in a fighting game. Go to patreon.com/Jeff May. Go into the comments on Nerd and let Jeff know if you agree or disagree, because we loves that engagement. And as mentioned, patreon.com/Jeff May. For certain tiers, Jeff will send you cards in the mail. And if we like each other enough, like Walker Morgan qualifies, if I see stuff that I think is cool, I occasionally send stuff along to Jeff for him to send to others. Wounded Wookiee, poor Chewbacca. Chewbacca's a fighter. Han Solo, not a fighter. Chewbacca, a fighter. All right. We got revealed, and then we got the dancer. Doesn't she get fed to the... She's one of the ones that gets fed to the Rancor, right? Ula? Okay, so Jeff, interesting. So we'll go back and read this. If Jeff says a card is cool, I'll at least give it a read through. So Galid, power 1, ability 1, deploy 3, forfeit 2, draw 2, like 2 of the top. Deploys free to same site as Mosep, adds 2 to the power of any starship he pilots. Well at audience chamber, adds 1 to your force drains at Jabba's palace sites. Oh yeah, so this is nice in that what makes him cheap is, and by the way, last one, so come on. We're trying to chase Jeff. Jeff got 2 Masters of Terrascasi people, and unless I draw a Stormtrooper or Princess Leia, I'm going to strike out. Okay. Yozum. Quick reflexes. I do love that just in Star Wars, they've got just like monsters, right? Like the devil shows up, like Cyclops shows up. Signal, Luke asking for the lightsaber. This guy, the freak is that? Look, this is a labyrinth looking character. There are a lot of labyrinth looking characters in Return of the Jedi. I mean, of course, obviously they're both LucasArts, right? So that's not surprising. But oh, I'm curious about this because Jeff loves Sabak. So we've got Jabba's Palace Sabak. Oh, nice. Looks fun. Hollow projector, got a device. We got this. Yak Face is the original naming, says Jeff on the who the heck is that? And then I don't recall this player in Masters of Terrascasi. Woomph. Woomph, there it is. Um, he's not a horrible pilot. But yeah, as we noted, like went through 8 pack. I got some good cards going through 8 packs of Marvel Universe, and I got I'm not sure anything I'm super proud of in those Jabba's Palace, but I will get close to complete set. I did do a test on Sunday. I've since marked it unlisted, but I did break some Caitlin Clark, and you can see me in the reflection. I did get this Fearless Rainbow Prism, so I did like that. Interesting. And Logan is saying, do they have Sabak games like tournaments? I'm not sure. Jeff would know better than me. All right. Well, that was a fun. I must Drake you. I'm glad Jeff was able to hop into the comments. Sorry we weren't able to chat like normal. But I just don't have internet at the moment. I mean, I would assume Logan's saying he's actually saying in Star Wars universe, there would have to be, right? There would have to be Sabak tournaments that could have been a reason for Star Wars Masters of Terrascasi. Like maybe they're all there for Sabak tournament. They start fighting with each other. Infinite number of things that would have been better is what it is. I'm not going to sort these on camera tonight because I don't have my normal rig. But and Jeff saying in Star Wars CCG, he loves fighting for like winning stuff. I guess you can do that. You can just like randomly start gambling in the middle of the game and like win weapons and stuff. And okay, so I'm curious. So Logan's saying in real life, I'm curious what he means. Like, is he saying like real Star Wars life or like real life? If people figured out fake, fake Sabak like rules and done it themselves, I'm not sure. Jeff says, great break. I really appreciate that. I am very curious to see what Jeff will be doing in San Diego. I was going to text him today if he was going to go to San Diego Comic Con because it is well known. If you listen to Jeff look for Jeff Has Cool Friends, any place you can find podcasts for free. If you want to do it the right way, patreon.com/Jeff May, where you can get exclusive episodes. In both of those, he will talk about going to Comic Con, how he says he won't go. He knows like half the people there, Jeff's like the mayor of Comic Con. So good to hear that. Again, Wednesdays, I Must Break You. That's coming up this week, maybe from San Diego Comic Con, maybe with some more Marvel Impel, which Jeff and me both just absolutely love. Jeff, despite the fact that I think I opened more packs, I am going to have to give you the win this week on Jabba's Palace Break. And then I am hoping your schedule permits to actually do a Jeff Mays mailbag on Friday because I know Jeff actually has some mail. Follow me most places on the internet as Nerd Numbers. Follow Jeff most places as at Hey There Jeffro. Go there and tell him Han has no business in a Star Wars fighting game. You know that. Already plugged the channels, but one more time, patreon.com/Jeff May. Gamefully Unemployed. I'm excited to hear if Jeff will be doing some crossovers in the near future. But there should be a Tom and Jeff Watch Batman this Wednesday as well, I believe. And Jeff says you can also win piloted starships in Sabak. That is a cheat code. So you like win the pilot with the card, and then I imagine that changes the dynamic. Like if someone has if you could win, say, a TIE fighter at the Death Star, then suddenly you can start four-string a Death Star. I love it. Never got as into Star Wars CCG as Jeff, but I did love it when I was younger. Yeah, I think that's the break. Had a lot of fun doing this. I will try and make sure that I actually like end the show on time. And yeah, Jeff notes that he won Boba. He said he called him Boba Fett, which is what his friends know him as, but Boba Fett in Slave One. That is freaking ridiculous. So patreon.com/Jeff May. Jeff Has Cool Cards. If you haven't smashed that like and subscribe button, please do so. At Hey There Jeffro, if you want to double dip on awesome YouTube channels. Follow Jeff Has Cool Friends any place you can find podcasts. I think that's it. at Nerd Numbers, at Hey There Jeffro. We'll talk to you next week. Well, I'll talk to you next week. Jeff, we'll talk to you before then.